This is Catholic Forum. I'm Bob Krebs. Michelle Sagarino has nearly 3 decades of experience in nonprofit leadership. The University of Maryland graduate served various charitable organizations until joining Cross Catholic Outreach in 2004 and served as vice president for development for that organization for 15 years. She is now the president of Cross Catholic Outreach. I'd like to welcome to Catholic Forum Michelle Sagarino. Thanks for taking time to be with us today, Michelle.
Well, thank you, Bob. I'm excited to be here. Thank you.
So, what did I miss out on your introduction? What else can you tell us about yourself?
Oh, I guess the most important aspect is that the very beginning of my career, God called me on a mission trip to Jamaica. And through that mission trip, totally changed the projection or trajectory of my life, showing me that with the Lord in the middle of any missionary work, great transformation comes. And without Him, you can build all the buildings and try to do all the change, but it is not transformational change. And from that moment on, I was quite young. I really have been called to serve the missionaries, the priests, the nuns around the world that are doing amazing work. I've been called to support them. So I'm blessed that He had this calling. I was a little uncertain at first, like, really? This is what you want me to do? But I am so thankful, so thankful.
So, tell us, what is Cross Catholic Outreach and how did it get started?
Sure. Cross Catholic Outreach is a Catholic ministry. We help the poorest of the poor internationally around the world. It was founded by Jim Kavnar and Brian Shutt, who just really wanted to lift up the heroes of our faith, those that are helping children who need an education in developing countries, the poorest of the poor, those who have no water around the world, food, those in need of a home with a sturdy roof. So they were really called to help the most vulnerable. And since that time, our inception was in 2001, we have been blessed to serve in over 90 countries and given about $4.6 billion worth of aid. So it's been a long journey and a journey that we believe in staying with these partners for the long haul. It's one of our philosophies to really come alongside the bishops, the nuns, the missionaries, ask what they need and help to provide that support long term so that they can help transform their community. One other point that's very important to us is that although many of the aspects I just talked about are material aid, we need food, we need a house, we need clean water, but we provide aid in a holistic way. We believe in supporting the spiritual, the social, and the material is what's going to provide true change. And so that's what we're called to do. And God has been blessing us through generous donors throughout the United States to
Give us a few examples of the projects and the countries where Cross Catholic Outreach is making a difference.
Sure. This year alone, we are working in 36 countries, but I would highlight two countries that I'm going to be visiting in the next month and a half. One is Guatemala, in which we have numerous programs, but two are very holistic, integrating many different types of aid. We're working in the Diocese of Santa Rosa de Lima, and we're working in the Diocese of Suchi de Peques Ratuhulehu. And that's where I'll be going in a week and a half to go visit. In this diocese, it's so remote that it takes about 2 hours to drive in a very bumpy truck to get there. And these communities were really in desperate need. So the local Caritas, we're working alongside of them, coming in and helping with many aspects, going into each community and building a well, and then working alongside families to build homes together, and then working to provide gardens in these homes, coming alongside holistically as well as education. Then in another 2 weeks beyond that, I'll be blessed to go to Kenya, where we support Father Fabian Heve, who really was called to support water programs. And so, looking at these villages, many of which are the tribes, Turkana tribes, the Maasai tribes, he is coming in and there is no water whatsoever. The girls, the water carriers of the world, the moms, they're walking oftentimes 5 hours or 10 miles to get water that right now is so dirty it looks as if it's brown, chocolate colored. And Father is putting in a fresh well in various communities to really provide the spiritual water of our faith, but clean drinking water. So far, within this program, he has impacted through the generous gifts of so many of your listeners and donors around the United States, 658,000 people now have clean water. Now will not have to have their daughters, their sons stay out of school because they need to collect water for the family. So truly life-changing. One is multiple approaches in a diocese, and one is a really focused approach. Both absolutely transformational.
You mentioned Guatemala. The Diocese of Wilmington has a solidarity partnership with the Diocese of San Marcos in Guatemala. So we've experienced some of those same things that you're talking about. So how is Cross Catholic Outreach different from other organizations like Catholic Relief Services and so forth?
Well, I can speak to our points that we feel God has called us that differentiates us. And one I mentioned slightly already, which is long-term support.
Mm-hmm.
We want to come alongside our brothers and sisters and be there with them. Just as we've started companies without as many hurdles as these developing country can provide the bishops and the priests, so many hurdles out there, we want to be there through the hard times, through the success of programs. We want to hear from them. And so that long-term approach has been very beneficial to us and something that we consider quite important. Also, we really want to practice Catholic social teaching called subsidiarity. What do I mean by that? In our mission, we do not have thousands of staff members. We believe in supporting those that are already in the field, that already are in the community and know what those needs are. We want to practice the social teaching of subsidiarity, lifting those up, supporting their calling, because they're the best ones to solve the issues, to bring in help to their community. One community may look totally different than another one. And so we practice that throughout all the countries that we serve in. Another strong thing that we believe with our ministry is to update our supporters. So, for instance, if Bob, you were going to give to help Father Fabian's water program, in 6 months, you would receive a full update on that project. Why? Because we really believe that our donors want to journey with us. They want to know where it's going. And they want to be able to hear what God is doing through that. And so these are just some small things that I'm sure other charities as well have, but are very core to who we are.
I was very impressed by your board of directors. Could you tell us a little bit about those folks that are serving your organization as board members?
Of course. I'm impressed with them as well. All of our board members are bishops or archbishops. Archbishop Rosansky is the head of our board currently and is a wonderful man. We have Bishop Cordileone, who I will be speaking with at a conference next week. Just so supportive. So many of them, all of the bishops, are missionaries. They've joined our board because they believe in reaching out, not just beyond the walls of their church, of the schools that they support, their diocese, but internationally. And as a matter of fact, this January, they will be traveling with us to Guatemala to meet one of the partners that we support in Guatemala. So I'm looking forward to that. True heroes of our faith. really provide us the guidance that we need and have opened the doors to their diocese, very similar to your diocese, Bob. I know that you've supported one of our Faith in Action activities, Box of Joy, which is a Christmas box program that schools and parishes and communities in the United States fill up these beautiful boxes with school supplies and clothing and toys. Well, what a beautiful, beautiful program to get parishes involved. I was looking, I think your whole diocese since 2020 has supported us with 1,615 boxes of joy. And I see our bishops opening that door as well across their diocese. Let's do this. Let's engage families in our parishes and schools in our parishes with hands-on activities. So I guess to sum it up, we have the best bishops and on our board and archbishops, and their heart is definitely behind helping those that are most vulnerable.
That was going to be my next question about Box of Joy. I mean, this is the 10th anniversary for that program. And how do individual schools or families or dioceses or parishes, how do they get involved with that program?
Good, thank you. Yes, it is the 10th anniversary for the Box of Joy Christmas program. As I mentioned, it's a great way to get even your family involved, Knights of Columbus, Girl Scouts, parishes and schools, and you simply go to boxofjoy.org. And when you go there, the very first kind of icon that you can click is get your group involved. Mm-hmm. And through that, you can see what parishes in your area are already involved. You could commit to being a leader and lead your parish or your school with the Box of Joy program. Once you click into that, it'll ask you, how many do you think you would like to do? How many would you like to try to fulfill for the children in 8 countries around the world? And we will send you all the materials for that. The boxes, the brochures, the posters, everything, a wish list. What do children like? Believe it or not, many of the children's socks are the most loved item. Sunglasses. I've seen people put deflated soccer balls and a little pump in a box, and a child just loves it. So I hope that the listeners will go to boxofjoy.org and look and see and get involved. And if they can't, if their parish isn't involved and they can't lead a new one, there's also a button to say, I would like to just do individually. And we could pack a box for them if that's something that they would like. But I know St. Mark's High School is involved. I pulled up another one. Let's see. The Most Blessed Sacrament Catholic School's been involved. So your diocese is really joining this beautiful Faith in Action activity.
And that's boxofjoy.org to sign up for that?
Yes.
And
yes.
I guess that would be an Advent or fall activity for a parish or school?
Right. We'd like to get everything out by October to the schools, to the parishes, so that before Advent, really within the first week of November, we can collect the boxes. So trying to get everything in or committed by October is key. And the dates of all the deadlines are on our website. And it's just been a beautiful celebration. I have seen football players involved, the whole football team, the girls track team, and it's amazing to watch. All of those boxes will then come back within the first week of November across the United States to our clearing center, and we'll go through them with various groups that volunteer to make sure there's no water, no chocolates, anything that would ruin when you're sending it to the various countries. Right. We were blessed this past year to be able to even enter into Africa. So we have Malawi and Haiti and Guatemala and El Salvador and Honduras that are participating in distributing these boxes on the other end. One thing that's important to note, as we collect these boxes and they come to our screening center, every box has a coloring book with the story of Jesus, and every box has a rosary. And Bob, if you would see the notes that our children and families place in these boxes. It would make you cry. It's so beautiful. So it's really enriching our faith both ways, which to me is important. It's not just one way. It's both ways. The getting involved in this program really can be important for your family.
What is the age of the recipients of these boxes? Are they for younger children?
They can go all the way up to 14, and the 14-year-olds, the older children really appreciate it. Sometimes I feel like they're right on that cusp, kind of like here in the United States, right? They still like to get a good gift, but they're right on that edge. And so I would encourage your listeners to even think about those older children as well, because their needs are different, right? Maybe additional school supplies for them and so forth. And it could be as young as a 2 or 3-year-old that receives the boxes. They're so precious. And then in the countries, the local priest that either runs the school or in that area, they'll do a celebration and thank the Lord for these gifts, share that they come from love, which comes from our Lord, and really use it as a teaching moment for those children as well. And then chaos breaks out when they open up their gifts. I have a couple of stories if you want me to share. I
Yes,
don't know.
please, yeah, let it tell
Uh,
us about it.
well, it just means so much to these children. And so sometimes the children will open the boxes in some countries and be very, very quiet, and kind of close their box and hold it tight. And we'll ask them, well, did you like what's in your box? They're like, yes, I want to save this and I want to share it with my brothers and sisters. And sometimes it's complete excitement and chaos. It just depends. But either way, it is such a meaningful present to them. And one example is a little boy. I'm trying to see exactly what country he was from. It doesn't say here, but a little boy named Abel. And he had received a box from us, from donors around the United States. And then our team happened to be visiting, I guess a couple weeks later. He saw the names on our shirt, Cross Catholic Outreach. He saw that and he ran to his house, got the gift back, and showed us and said, please thank the people that gave me this box. And he even knew their names. Thank them for giving me this beautiful, beautiful present. So it means so much. Another little girl in Nicaragua woke up her dad at, I don't know, before light, 4 in the morning, like our children do, woke him up, had the donkey already ready because she wanted to go get her box of joy. It meant so much to her. It was such an excitement going on in the community, and she was ready to receive it. So they're huge blessings to these children and blessings to our children and our families and our parishes as we join together and give and celebrate the love that's been given to us and share it and give it to others.
It's a good lesson for our American kids to learn about the universality of our church and to kind of think outside of your own parish or neighborhood or school, that it's a much bigger world and not everyone is blessed like we are here in the U.S.
Yeah, I agree with you. It is a great lesson. I used to think that's such a big term, the universal church. But when you are participating alongside your brothers and sisters, be it in past Sunday, I celebrated Mass with 20 friends that came to a different parish. How beautiful is that? Or when you join together and you're doing something that's outside of the norm and you're supporting our brothers and sisters that are in different countries, it does change you. It does show you the power of our church. And our church, they're doing amazing things. We support typically in any given year, I think last year was 296 various partners. And these men and women are the best leaders that I have ever met. They're facing obstacles like we mentioned, no water, no education for many children. Many of the families that they're supporting barely even have a home, and they are changing lives. And so it is just a privilege to come alongside of them and be part of that, to be part of our church in such a big way.
So how can we support your mission? What are the various ways that we can get involved with Cross Catholic Outreach?
Well, you can definitely get involved by supporting the Box of Joy Faith in Action activity at boxofjoy.org. You can also go to crosscatholic.org, and you can see the many countries that we're in and the programs that we're supporting. We are supporting countries all around the world, in Haiti, the Philippines, Vietnam, Nicaragua, Guatemala. There may be a particular country that you want to support, and you can see that on our catalog. Or perhaps water really calls to you and you want to help Father Fabian with Water for Life. Once you select a program, then your funds will support that and we'll be able to update you. Maybe it's food. We ship a lot of items that are very needed around the world. And as we know, food is one of the most needed items. So perhaps you want to help to ship a container of food. There's many ways that you could get involved. And I think if you go to crosscatholic.org, you'll see where God's calling you. And we would love to come alongside of you and show the beautiful work our church is doing through your gifts. So please look at the website and join us.
And people can make a monetary donation as well at that website.
Mm-hmm. You can give at any level within that website to support building a home, providing meals, providing an education, which is so critical. And also, really a key to change is our microfinance programs and agricultural programs, that once some of the basic needs are met, being able to take the next step to self-sufficiency and create home gardens. There's ways to support that. So there's just, we really want to come alongside the communities holistically, and any financial amount that you give, you can say which category you would like to support, and we do.
And that's crosscatholic.org.
That's right.
Michelle Sagarino, thanks so much for being with us today on Catholic Forum. We appreciate your time, and may God continue to bless you and all of the folks at Cross Catholic. And maybe you'll come back another time and talk with us.
Well, thank you very much, Bob. I appreciate the support of your diocese and all the great work that you've been doing. God bless you as well.
Thanks. Bye-bye.